Learning Goals. Welcome to this learning session on citizen engagement for community improvement. In this course, we shall address understanding citizen engagement and action, influencing policy and government responsiveness, national campaign, Open Britain case study, local campaign, hands-off HRI, evaluating campaign impact and outcomes. There will be a quiz at the end to test your knowledge.
Introduction to citizen engagement. Citizens possess the power to initiate and drive change within their communities, either individually or through organized groups. This collective action can manifest in various forms, such as influencing public policy, confronting societal injustices, or addressing specific local concerns. Historically, citizen engagement has been a cornerstone of democratic societies, enabling populations to shape their governance and social structures. For instance, the civil rights movement in the United States demonstrated the profound impact of organized citizen action on national policy and social norms. Modern digital platforms have also significantly expanded the reach and speed of citizen mobilization, allowing for rapid organization and dissemination of information. The power of collective action. Working together significantly amplifies the ability to effect change and improve society. When individuals pool their efforts and resources, their collective voice becomes much stronger and more influential. This increased power can sway both political decisions and broader public opinion, making it harder for authorities to ignore their concerns. A study by Harvard University found that non-violent civil resistance campaigns are twice as likely to succeed as violent ones, often due to their ability to mobilize a larger and more diverse base of citizens. This highlights the strategic advantage of broad-based collective action. Amplifying influence on policy. The combined efforts of citizens can exert substantial pressure on politicians and public opinion. By presenting a united front, groups can effectively communicate their demands and concerns, making them more visible and harder to dismiss. This unified approach is crucial for gaining traction in complex policy debates. For example, environmental advocacy groups often combine scientific research with public demonstrations and lobbying efforts to influence climate policy, demonstrating how diverse tactics can converge to amplify influence. Their sustained pressure has led to significant legislative changes in many countries. Government responsiveness to public opinion. Governments are inherently more likely to respond positively when public opinion strongly supports a particular action or policy. Politicians, by their nature, must remain attuned to the sentiments of their constituents to secure electoral success and maintain their positions of power. Ignoring widespread public sentiment can lead to significant political repercussions, including loss of votes and public trust. In many democracies, public opinion polls are closely monitored by political parties to gauge voter sentiment on key issues, directly influencing campaign strategies and legislative priorities. This constant feedback loop underscores the direct link between public opinion and governmental action. Open Britain emerged as a prominent national campaign dedicated to challenging the United Kingdom's departure from the European Union. This organisation effectively connected grassroots supporters (ACA). Open Britain emerged as a prominent national campaign dedicated to challenging the United Kingdom's departure from the European Union. This organisation effectively connected grassroots supporters across the UK, aiming to influence public policy regarding Brexit. Their efforts showcased how a national movement could mobilise diverse segments of society around a single, critical issue. The campaign utilised various communication channels, including social media, traditional media, and local events, to reach millions of citizens and amplify their message, demonstrating the multifaceted approach required for large-scale advocacy.
Open Britain's core arguments. The Open Britain campaign strongly opposed a hard or no-deal Brexit, believing it would severely harm the British economy and negatively impact citizens' livelihoods. They also argued that such an outcome would damage the UK's crucial relationships with its European neighbours. Their stance was rooted in a detailed economic analysis and a vision for continued European cooperation.
Economic forecasts at the time, cited by Open Britain, suggested that a no-deal Brexit could reduce the UK's GDP by up to 7% over 15 years, underscoring the significant economic concerns driving their campaign.
Advocating for a people's vote. A key objective for Open Britain was to hold the government accountable for its Brexit policy, specifically advocating for a people's vote on the final Brexit deal. Members believed that a new national referendum would provide a clear indication of public support for their proposed position. This call for a second vote aimed to ensure that the public had the ultimate say on the terms of departure.
The concept of a people's vote gained significant traction, with over 4 million people signing a petition for a second referendum, illustrating the widespread public desire for further democratic input on the issue. Evaluating campaign impact. The ultimate impact and effectiveness of the Open Britain group can be assessed by examining the actual outcomes of Brexit. While the UK ultimately left the EU, the campaign's persistent advocacy kept the debate alive and highlighted the complexities and potential consequences of various Brexit scenarios. Their work contributed to public discourse and scrutiny of government decisions. Although a second referendum did not occur, Open Britain's efforts are credited with influencing the terms of the eventual withdrawal agreement and ensuring that the economic implications of Brexit remained a central part of political discussions. Local campaigns, hands-off HRI. In contrast to a national campaign, hands-off HRI exemplified a powerful local grassroots movement focused on preventing the closure of Huddersfield Royal Infirmary. This campaign demonstrated how local communities can mobilise effectively to protect vital public services. Their actions included organising mass demonstrations, actively lobbying local politicians, and undertaking fundraising initiatives to support their cause. The campaign successfully gathered over 100,000 signatures on a petition, showcasing the strong local sentiment and widespread opposition to the hospital's closure. This level of local engagement is often critical for the success of such campaigns. HRI campaign tactics and legal action. The hands-off HRI campaign employed a multi-pronged approach, including direct public action and legal challenges. They pursued a judicial review of the government's decision to close the hospital, arguing that the closure was not justifiable. This legal strategy was a bold move, demonstrating their commitment to exhausting all avenues to protect their local hospital. Judicial reviews are a powerful tool for citizens to challenge the legality of decisions made by public bodies, and the HRI campaign's successful use of this mechanism set a precedent for other community groups facing similar threats to public services. HRI campaign success and outcome. The hands-off HRI campaign achieved a significant victory when the judge upheld their view that the hospital's closure was not supportable. This legal triumph was a direct result of their persistent efforts and well-argued case. Following the ruling, the health secretary at the time publicly stated that closing the hospital was not in the best interests of the people, confirming the campaign's success. This victory not only saved Huddersfield Royal Infirmary, but also inspired other local communities across the UK to organise and fight against similar proposed cuts to healthcare services. demonstrating the ripple effect of successful citizen action. Diverse forms of citizen action. Citizens have a wide array of methods to change or improve their communities, whether working independently or in groups. These actions can range from large-scale national campaigns addressing public policy, like the Brexit debate, to challenging injustices such as homelessness. They also encompass resolving specific local community issues, such as campaigning to keep a vital hospital open. Beyond these examples, citizen action also includes volunteering, participating in local government meetings, organizing community cleanups, and advocating for environmental protection, all contributing to a vibrant and responsive civil society.
Summary. Well done. You have completed the course, Citizen Engagement for Community Improvement. You should now be familiar with understanding citizen engagement and action, influencing policy and government responsiveness, national campaign, Open Britain case study, local campaign, hands-off HRI, evaluating campaign impact and outcomes. Should you need to revisit any of the topics in this course, please use the menu at the bottom of the screen.